Whew. Thank goodness it's not too wet right here. Oh, goodness. Getting caught up in these trees. Yeah, there's some nice views. Easier with two hands instead of one, but I have to show this to you. It's beautiful. This climb is freaking awesome. I don't know if it's quartz or granite or what, but there's a lot of it, whatever it is. Absolutely beautiful. Great views on the way up. Yeah, that stuff. I don't know if that's quartz or granite. All right. All right. Yahoo. Back in the tree line. Standing on the summit of Baker Mountain. I had to go back a little bit because I didn't realize that I passed the summit. I thought it was still going to go up a little bit more, but then it went into the forest and the trees were covering everything. No views at all of the mountains. Right here is the actual summit. It's a little more open over there, but you still get these great views all the way up and then at the summit. It's nice to see some views on this fourth summit of the day. And Baker Mountain is in the bag. Doing some descending right now. And forest has been pretty dark with nice breeze. Kind of like it's going to rain, but I don't think it is. But weird thing just happened. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I smelled my dad. I know that sounds weird. But my dad passed 17 years ago, and 18 almost, and I didn't live anywhere near him, so I only seen him a couple times a year, because I was always traveling, between touring and working, and climbing, all that fun stuff, and they lived 1,200 miles from me. So I didn't see him a whole lot, but I don't think he even smelled like that then. This is a memory, a smell memory from when I was a kid. Kind of like a mix between Brute, Bengay, and food. That was my dad's smell. Oh, it's weird. It's like, man, maybe a memory from like 40 years ago? 35 to 40 years ago? I used to... not to sound too sappy, but Me and my dad didn't get along for a long time, and I won't go into why. But there were still good memories, especially from when I was a kid. And we made amends before he passed, so all is good. We just saw things differently, I'll put it that way. But it was funny. The thing I remember is like when he would give me a hug as a kid. Big, burly, 6'4", 350-pound man. And always felt so stinking safe with my dad, even though there was a certain level that, I always was in trouble, I'll put it that way, always in trouble. But I always felt safe. I know he would never let anything happen to me and the family, and true man protecting the family. And anyway, like if he'd punish me, and then after the punishment he'd give me this big hug telling me he loved me, and that he hated to do it, but gotta learn right from wrong, and teaching me to be a man and know right from wrong when I grow up. And he did it the best way he knew how. But the memory that I remember the most, even though we didn't get along for years until forgiveness came and hurt was kind of washed away, so to speak. And I'll talk more about that in my book, if not before. So definitely pick up that book when I write it, which will be this year when I write it. I don't know if this is the year it'll be released or if that'll be next year, but anyway, I rambled on a long time, but it's kind of weird that just out of the blue I smelled him, and that memory popped in my head, because I don't really think there's anything in the forest that smells like Brute and Bengay and food all mixed together. I don't think so. So for some reason, something in destiny, something in purpose, something happened that made me want to remember that. And I'm thankful that I got to remember that beautiful memory of my dad, who's been long gone. I miss you, Dad. I love you. $12 right now, at 13 miles for the day so far. Come across this shelter, so I thought I'd stop and get some food. For lunch today, peanut butter, scooped straight out, like so. And cheese. It's not Old Crock, but I'm in Vermont. So when in Vermont, eat Vermont cheese. And this sounds really good. Alpine cheddar cheese. Alpine. And I'm in the mountains, because I'm a mountain guy. It just sounds like it should be what I'm eating. So let's test this puppy out. Oh yeah. That's different. That's real different. I'm not sure what that is. That has a unique taste. Nutty almost. Man, if I knew that was that good, I would have eaten that much sooner. That's not going to last much longer. I can tell you that right now. It'll take about 15 or 20 minutes here. Get as many calories in as I can. Get back on the trail. Got another 13 to 17 miles to do today, because that's the way it's going to be. Alright, see y'all on the trail. I don't know what these plains are above me, but They've been going on for quite some time, probably 10 minutes or so. I think they're fighter jets. Doesn't sound like passenger planes, and it's several of them. It's not just one. It sounds like it's coming from over here somewhere, but obviously I can't see past the trees. And it sounds like some's going one direction, some's going another direction. So I hope everything's okay. Just a lot of fighter jets or something breaking the sound barrier pretty loudly, going back and forth up there. But it might be done now. Sounds like it quieted down. I don't know what that was, but I digress. I'm on the AT and I got things to do. Continuing on, thinking about that cheese I ate at that break about an hour ago. Oh, there's the sound again. I don't know what that is. Just keeps making the sounds. I don't know if there's a bass around here or not. Oh well, continuing on. Suspension bridge. That looks like a pretty new one. Looks pretty low. A lot of water moving, but still looks pretty low. That didn't even move that much. Just the way I like it. Mm-hmm. Nice wide section of trail here after crossing a Forest Service road 2 miles from a pond, and I think this is going to be like this a lot until then, maybe the whole way, because I know it's a popular place for day hikers and such to get to the pond, and it looks like it's pretty level with where I am right now, so it doesn't look like much ups and downs. So this might be a good little section here to catch up some miles and some time. Back to being annoying with all these rocks in weird places and weird angles. Can't get any speed going. Just got to either step way up to go over them or around them. Can't just cruise through it. You know, I don't mind rocks when there's a purpose. When it's on a flat piece of ground like this and they're just there, scattered all over the place, just so you can't move your normal movements, it's annoying. But I digress. It's still beautiful. Little Fork Pond. Now this is nice. Gorgeous. Feeling good, feeling strong, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling tired. Don't think I got enough sleep last night, and then starting off early, but I woke up, couldn't get back to sleep. I just don't think I had enough rest. By the time I got to sleep, I slept decent, but only totaling it up probably was only like 5 hours, which is kind of normal for me, but just coming back, probably need a little more sleep that first night. Let the body recoup a little bit. So I think I've changed my plans. My plans was going to be to, not tomorrow, but the next day, stop in Rutland and take a Nero. I have had a couple developments that happened that kind of changed my mind on that, but it works out good because I'm going to stop a little early tonight, or should I say this afternoon, here in about 2 or 3 miles, about 3 miles actually. But one of the problems that I'm having that is kind of causing me to do this a little earlier than I wanted is the fact that my bags that I gather water in is leaking really bad. Both of them are now. And I mean, they're pouring out. So the problem with that is you put the Sawyer squeeze on it and use that to filter into your bottle. But it's dripping out, pouring out actually, as I'm filtering the water into the bottle. So I could easily get contaminated water in my bottle with the filtered water. I don't want to take a chance on that. So I can get a new one in Rutland. And again, I could wait until the next day. But there's no point in doing that because this is actually going to help me. Because like I said, I was going to, do big miles today, big miles tomorrow. I'm going to do big miles every day, as much as I can do. And then I was going to take a Nero. and then come back to trail the following day. Well, now I'm not going to do that as long as everything goes smoothly while I'm in town. You know, if I don't have any problems, you know, obviously I'm going to charge, going to upload some videos, and I'm going to get something to eat and get some resupply, and then go back to trail. I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to take a Nero tomorrow. I'm going to get in there early enough to where I can do that. And where I'm going to stay tonight, it's a shelter up here in 3 miles, and that is 8 miles from where I can get a ride into Rutland. So I'll have 8 miles hiked tomorrow, then go in town and do the things I need to do. Should only take a couple hours, and then come back to trail and add on another 10, 12, 15 miles, depending on when I get back. And then be able to continue on the very next day instead of, and get a full day out of it, instead of having to go, whoa. One of those beautiful things where you step on the branch and your other foot gets caught on it. But because one foot is holding the branch down, the other one has no movement and it just trips. But at least I stayed on my feet, so that's good. But yeah, so I'm gonna go into Rutland tomorrow. Not gonna take a Nero. That way it saves me half a day as far as miles, and because you know it's going to be sunny for the next few days, I'd rather take advantage of that. And I'm going to stop in New Hampshire. I walked through a couple towns so on the way to New Hampshire, so all good as far as if I need to stop and get anything or stop and eat. Not really ready to take a Nero yet anyway, so even though I'm going to go in a day early, I'm not going to stay, and it's going to actually help me get more miles that way. And it helps me set up camp a little earlier tonight, eat some more food. That was probably it last night. Probably didn't eat enough. And get some sleep, get some good sleep, and continue on tomorrow. So at the end of the day, today I'll be at about 23 miles. Right at 20 right now, actually a little over 20. So that'll get me right around 23 miles. Anyway, that's kind of the plan. Just talking out loud. Going to Rutland tomorrow. Woohoo! On the Far Out app, this says that it's a rock garden. I don't know if it used to be something else, because it said that little gnomes set it all up. Obviously it wasn't gnomes, but I'm thinking this used to be maybe some cairns or something up on top of that. I don't know. It doesn't look like much now except a couple of rocks, big boulders. So I'm not sure what it was, but it's not now. This forest looks really cool through here. These pines.